Hello and welcome to TNA Top 10, episode 100. I did that
What?
10 times, I promise. April 6th, 2025. And if we don't look familiar, it's because we haven't done this in over a month. I don't even know what I'm doing.
Oh my gosh.
I don't believe it's been a month, but I know it's been a while.
Unless I deleted a folder or something. I don't know. I put the date, I put the date on the folder with all the files and stuff. And I'm like, really? It was like March 4th?
Genuinely speaking, it has now been a month.
Yeah.
So
Well, Terry, I missed you. But I did get to see Andrew, so that part was fantastic.
facts.
We
Yeah.
had vacations that coincided. And I didn't even introduce you guys. I'm T Weave. With me, as always, is Allison, Faye, and Andrew. And we're going to talk vacations. We're going to talk March Madness. We're going to talk baseball. We're going to talk wrestling. And as you see on the screen, if you're watching, we're going to talk mascots. And of course, as expected, there was a lot of feedback on this one. And we'll get
Herbie is not in the picture. There's my feedback to you, sir. Herbie is not in the picture. This is embarrassing. You're embarrassing yourself. As the co-founder of TNA Top 10, I want you to know that you're embarrassing yourself. Where is Herbie? I mean, did you not want to rub it in that he's going to win anyway? I mean, come on.
I've seen the list. I've seen the
I
list.
just wanted to let Alex know we missed him too. And we
Yes,
did
I
have a
have
great.
a great story about Herbie when we get to him, even if we don't.
All right.
Alex Wheaton, I tagged you in our post. You are one of our OGs. We love you. We mean it. And thank you for the support.
That's right.
So the reasons it's been over a month, like we said, we had our vacations. Soccer is 5 days a week now, so that makes things
Happens when you have a
difficult.
good kid.
I still have not been able to make enough money to quit my job, so that's a thing.
If he sucked, you'd only be doing it once a week. So there's
Right,
that.
yeah. So then Andrew's a lot busier now at work too, and Allison always traveling and doing a lot of things at work. So it's tough to get these three people together, but we are here tonight. We did it a little early so that we don't run into the AEW pay-per-view, which we will discuss later. And honestly, I probably added a week to it just because I needed another week before I even thought about it. So put that on me. Blame Terry. Whatever.
Hashtag blame Terry.
Hashtag.
Coach is here.
What's
Look
up,
at Coach Keith
Keith?
is
Hi,
here.
Coach.
The coach we like, not the other one, who I will shit on if he wins the damn NCAA pick.
It's looking like he might because
I will do it publicly. Whoever I better win this shit is, I am on your side. You better win this shit because I cannot stand.
They both picked Florida. Yeah.
To listen to Coach Rosie though brag for a year that he won the TNA Top 10 poll.
So of course I put all mine on Auburn, and I was right there with them. Oh, that's Coach Keith.
Yes, Coach. We are.
Oh, damn!
We are on your side. Go Florida. Oh wait, Terry. Let's get over the Auburn talk first. Then we'll say go Florida.
Well, let me tell you, I had Auburn beating Houston in the final, so I was this close. This close. Anyway, it's not.
I had St. John's, and they disappointed me. So
Yep.
So why don't we talk vacations? We'll start out with mine. It was my youngest son Cyrus's birthday, and we did a few things a few weeks ago. And let me run all this down. Anybody that knows him, you see Derek Zoo in the upper left. We added a day to our vacation, went up to Pigeon Forge on Thursday night, front row at the Hatfield and McCoy, and you even see me on stage there with a bunch of other people. Those people hate me now because I made us lose this competition.
I love that Terry is always in public participation sections.
Oh yeah, and they wish I wasn't because see, you notice the other guy's wearing shorts. That would have been a good idea for me, but I don't do that very often.
No.
Unless it gets really hot. So I'm wearing the jeans, and they gave us a big spoon with a big rope attached to it. The women had to put it down their shirts. The men had to put it down their pants. It got
Oh,
to my calves. I have pretty big calves, let me tell you. And it was stuck. It took forever to get it through. And the
jeez.
McCoys kicked our asses. And that's what I'm saying. And it was my fault. And Derek Zoo's up there going, hurry up, Terry, hurry up, Terry. The whole time.
I love it. Love it.
So there was that. We did that in Pigeon Forge. On the bottom right corner, Cyrus is on the mountain coaster. That was fun.
Nice.
You can see how big he is now. Look how freaking huge.
It's a monster child. I love it.
We also went to the Titanic Museum. There's a picture to the left there. Then we went to Atlanta for a couple of days. I went to the Coke Museum. I didn't have a really good shot at the Coke Museum, but there's a picture up in the upper right here of Cyrus doing like a drink mix kind of deal. And we went to the Museum of Illusions. And this picture in the bottom left here, if you can see this and you're watching, that was an excellent room. I don't know what they do to cause that effect where it has the 3 different color shadows, but that's pretty awesome. That's
Yeah.
maybe one of the best pictures I've ever taken of him.
We went there when we were in Charlotte. We went to the Museum of Illusions, and we just absolutely loved it.
I enjoyed the chair photo you guys did, the same Allison and I did.
Yeah.
Was a good
Right.
one too.
It
With
was
you.
good, but Cyrus didn't. Cyrus is not a picture person. Okay, so I didn't get a lot where he really wanted to do them, but that's okay. But that one in the bottom left, that's a great one. What else did we do? We went to the aquarium. I didn't really get many pictures there. Went to the College Football Hall of Fame. I guess I didn't post any pictures of that. That was really fun. But the main thing that brought us to Atlanta that weekend was the MLS game between Inter Miami. That's the team that Messi plays for, that is owned by David Beckham. And they played against Atlanta United, and I believe Miami won 3-2, and we were on the front row, right behind the goal. And of course, Messi scored 1 goal, and it was all the way on the other side of the field. But we saw the
Well-
game winner, so it was pretty exciting.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
This sounds like a great
Right.
trip to Atlanta, to be very honest. So
Yeah.
Now my youngest is 12 years old, and now you know why I have gray hair in my beard.
Ah,
spoiler, he had gray hair before Cyrus turned 12.
I was gonna say, good try, Terry.
I
But
met that before he was born, honestly.
quick minute to say hi to those who joined us. Hi to Heather Whitley. Nice to see you again. And hi to Dad and my Uncle Billy.
Yeah, my pal George is here.
Oh,
We're gonna
yeah.
talk Yankees,
There you go.
George.
Good segue.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the Yankees. No, it's going to be good.
Do you want to go into art?
I was asked
I got-
the question. Go ahead, Terry.
I got 2 more things before we head to your
Yeah.
trip, if that's where you're headed. So on this trip, Cyrus did 2 things for the first time. He rode in an Uber for the first time, so I kind of taught him how to do that. And I had to teach Houston how to do that recently because he moved away, and I'm like, you're going to need to know this. And Cyrus also rode the MARTA in Atlanta, which I love
Nice.
the MARTA. I would drive to the edge of town. I know exactly where that station is, and I'll get on the MARTA. But within 10 minutes of sitting down on the bench waiting on the train, we hear 2 people going at it. From what I understand, and let me tell you what I heard. Apparently some younger man starts walking by, sees this older man with his legs crossed on the bench, starts making fun of him for having his legs crossed. And this woman wasn't having any part of it and just lit into the guy. And they were going back and forth. And I'm like, Cyrus, you keep your head down, you mind your own business. We're just going where we're going.
Oh my.
Oh yeah, it didn't take long.
Well, at least it wasn't a homeless person that followed you all because you said, I understand.
I understand.
Could it have been the same guy?
Yeah, we're playing the hits tonight. That's in the archives. You can hear all
That's
about my
amazing.
birthday in Atlanta.
All right. Now let's talk about some Tampa and some baseball and some food. Your turn. Take it away.
Baseball. Yes. Look at Allison. She's excited because somebody included the fondue picture from the melting pot. And I don't have any idea who that would have been.
Me.
When I put the itinerary together, Terry, you would have been proud of me. We had start times. We had reservation times on the list. I'm like, I'm putting it on the calendar, and I share my calendar with her. She says, "Can I get this in a one-page doc?" What are we doing?
Good
So
Lord.
obviously, we started at Charlie's. That's the top left corner for those of you watching along with us. Fantastic meal. As you can see, middle left, that would be the steak that we had and shared. Gator bites were fantastic with the aioli sauce. Allison did not like them, but
They
loved
were not. They were
I
so
should have
gamey.
oyster,
And
though. She thought the oyster was fine.
the oysters were good.
Yeah. But, oh, yeah, you had more than one this time.
Yes,
Yeah.
I did.
Look. And then let's go talk about your fondue since you love the melting pot.
So, look, my favorite restaurant of all time is the Melting Pot. It is a fondue restaurant, and I only go there on special occasions or really, things I really want to celebrate. So, to me, spring training with my best friend, let's go celebrate. We got the bigger night out. It's called. It's a 4-course meal. We started with a cheese. We did the Alpine Gruyere, phenomenal.
Okay.
They gave us things like apples, bread, carrots, cauliflower, fantastic. Then we did salads. We each got to choose our own. And then we did the main meal, which you can see here, which we got 3 different kinds of steak, shrimp, lobster tail, chicken.
Yep.
Yeah. Portobello mushroom ravioli. Like, it was phenomenal. Out of this world. 6 different sauces. And then we had chocolate fondue for dessert. Which one did we have? The turtle, right? The
Turtle.
candied pecans. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And Allison loved all that too.
I loved every minute of it.
Every minute of it. And it
Every
was a
minute.
very good restaurant. Very good staff, very good service. And it was
Yeah.
St. Patty's Day, so like it was empty.
That's right.
I mean, basically it was empty because it was St. Patrick's Day. But
We used to have one in Huntsville, but the guy that owned it just
Yeah.
apparently didn't want to own it anymore.
We used to have one in Connecticut and one over in Providence, and they're both gone.
yeah, so apparently we've got one in Raleigh, but I've never been. And this was great. I mean, I thought it was fine. The only disappointing place, I'm going to put them on blast, Allison,
Yes.
Suppresso. That would be in the Hard Rock Casino. It was a different style of food, so I figured we should eat there instead of eating at 3 or 4 different steakhouses throughout the week. Their service sucked. They let us sit there for 20 minutes before they even said anything, and then the food was terrible because it was cold. And they were more interested, or at least the hostess was, of telling everybody what to do and creating discontent than
Correct.
she was actually serving the patrons in the restaurant. So that's that. But what wasn't amiss was Columbia, top right, if you're watching along with us. That's the flamenco show. That wasn't what we ate, for those of you playing along. But it was Cuban. So Cuban food, full disclosure, is not my favorite. This was really, really good. So
I had more black beans than I've ever had in my life. It was amazing.
So it is my least favorite of Hispanic food, and this was really well done. Mostly because it's so salty. They use a lot of pork. But anyway, the show was great. We went to Ybor
City.
Ybor, I wanted to say Ybor. Ybor City. This place was built in 1905. Highly recommend if you're in Tampa. Check it out.
First restaurant in the U.S. with air conditioning.
Yep. And they used to be able to charge people for the air conditioning.
Yep.
Like it was like a.
I would have paid it.
Yeah, she would have paid. She thought it was a little warm in Tampa, and I'm like, it's 80. It's fine here.
It was
because there's a little humidity in the air.
Special shout out to Sami in Tampa, in downtown Tampa. We did brunch with them one morning, and it was exceptional. As a Greek, everything they had was spot on, and I was so pleased.
It was really good. I had octopus there because I always eat exotic things because my crowd don't eat exotic things. So, so I had octopus, and then
there was
the
baseball.
main event.
Yes,
Steinbrenner Field, Yankees spring training, Mini Monument Park over to the left. The judge and the captain batting on the right, the empty stadium. By the way, the Yankees spring training will probably put more people in that stadium than the Tampa Bay Rays will all year long, because Tampa Bay Rays are a trash organization, a lot like the Pittsburgh Pirates. To the point where while we were in Tampa, Terry, this is no bullshit because the locals were freaking out about it. They are not rebuilding Tropicana, or they are not building a new stadium. They are rebuilding Tropicana that got destroyed by that storm. So there are people that are unhappy with Tampa right now. And I mean, I don't think they'll put 11,000 people in Steinbrenner Stadium or Steinbrenner Field, but that's their problem, not ours. But it was a lot of fun.
I do want to make a special shout out to the breakfast places we frequented. Mom's Place, Mama's Diner, and Trips Diner. They were phenomenal. We did not go wrong with breakfast one day.
Highly recommend.
I thought you were going to say moms, mamas, and mommies.
No.
Highly recommend diners in Florida because old people live there, which means they know how to do breakfast in Florida.
Yes. I had more grits and sausage and biscuits and gravy than I can shake a stick at, and I don't care because it's fantastic. It was so good.
Really, really, really good. But I will say,
but you know what I didn't love?
Oh no!
Please let me tell you.
Here she goes.
Bring it.
So we're at the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was the second game. Is that right, Andrew?
It was the second game against Boston.
Against
Max
Boston.
Played lights out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it was fantastic, and it was a lot. And all of a sudden, a bunch of, I'll say 12 to 13-year-olds. Would you say, is that about right, Andrew?
I don't guess ages, but they were definitely middle schoolers because it was spring break. Yeah.
Sat behind us, and they're all very obviously young baseball players. Okay, very obviously. They start talking baseball, and I turn around just to like get a look. So I'm like, oh, how cute, right? They are drenched in gold. When I say drenched in gold, like thick ass gold chains, and I'm looking at them and I'm going, did I miss something somewhere? Is this a thing? And then I note my nephew is 5 and has a gold chain now, and I'm like, is this a thing? Like, what? What is that? He was wearing more. He cost more than I did. Like, that's just weird.
We need some title that's that instead of a belt in wrestling. A big ass chain.
I'm telling you, you should have seen the look on her face when she saw this kid doing his best Jazz Chisholm imitation.
Oh God,
he was ripping with the 4 or 5 chains, and he had the one with like the big emblem or whatever.
They were all wearing their numbers. Wearing their numbers.
That's what it was, yeah.
But that's not my number one producer's
but respect to the kids. I told you I was going to defend them.
Go ahead.
They knew Yankees baseball history.
They did.
They may have just won the World Series, or what they referred to as the World Series, the day before, and gotten those from their parents.
Oh, maybe, but okay.
All I'm telling you, Terry, is these kids knew Yankees baseball like the book you gave me. And there ain't no way that they saw the 2009 World Series or the ones from the 90s. But they sure as shit knew who Derek Jeter was, and who A-Rod was, and who Matsui was, because they even called him Godzilla. So they knew what they were talking about. And that's why I told Allison we got to defend the kids, because that's the future of the Yankees fan base right there.
Very true. Or the future Yankees, for all we know. You know? But again, so going back to Andrew and I had mentioned a bit about Suppresso in the Hard Rock Casino. This is where my crew. What was that?
I said, what a shit restaurant. I picked it too. And
okay,
I've never picked a bad one. That's the thing. And all our travel, I've never picked a bad one. You
Suppresso? How do you spell that? Is that
Cipresso? Now, so to be fair, the reason that he chose this restaurant is because it's in the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino.
Okay.
So he thought, look at that. Allison's really going to have a great time. She's going to get a little bit of gambling, because you guys know I'm a degenerate gambler. So little did we know it rained that day. And not just rained, it stormed. So you guys know I have chronic migraines, so I was pretty miserable by the time we got there. We get there, and it's like they are having a children's party on drugs. It's so loud. There were multiple speakers pumping out different music. So, like, as you walk through, it wasn't just really loud music. It was one really loud song on this side and another really loud song on this side. And it made no sense.
Let me interrupt you.
Please
And
go
a
ahead.
live band.
Oh, and a live band.
I got my first feedback. It ain't the Soft Rock Cafe.
Well, the biggest issue that I had was that when we went to go to dinner, all I could smell was the cigarette smoke from the casino. There was no door in the front of the restaurant, and it's all you smelled. And I'm like, this is the poorest planning I have ever seen in my life. So,
and for the record, because you were there, Terry, we ate at Peter Luger in a casino.
Right.
Yeah.
We ate at the Supper Club in a casino. None of it was this bad.
No.
So we cut the evening short and went the hell back to the Airbnb, which, by the way, again, highly recommend Airbnb.
Yes.
At least this one was rated really high. She was very responsive. It was it was a nice little place. It was like a little cottage, but I mean, and far more affordable than a hotel during spring training.
Absolutely correct. All right, so I think that wraps up our segment.
And that's spring training, and that leads us to the season. So let's talk a little bit of baseball and what the hell's happened. And I'm going to start out with that question. What the hell has happened in Atlanta?
You need to say it correctly. The baseball. As established on this show. The baseball.
Yeah.
So thank God for the Marlins. We got the Braves got one win. I know that's probably not the first thing we listed here, but
well, Terry knows I'm about to go off, so he's getting his shit in while he can.
I mean, I don't even have much to say. It's so bad in Atlanta right now. 1-8.
What about Schwallenbeck?
He got the one win.
Where's he from?
Baseball?
He went to Nebraska. Thanks, Huskers. We needed that win.
Oh.
How's Freed doing in New York?
1-0.
Okay.
Just fine.
He did not qualify. He did not throw enough innings to win or lose his debut game. So,
but not upset.
No, he's 1-0. Good left-handed pitcher. He's going to have to find his groove a little bit, and he's also going to have to accept the fact he is the ace of the Yankees.
Yeah.
Because it ain't Marcus Stroman, and it's not Carlos Rodon. And after today, it's not Will Warren, and it won't be Clark Schmidt, and Luis Hill is out until after Memorial Day. So, and by the way, Garrett Cole had Tommy John surgery, if y'all didn't know. So he's now Jarrett Cole.
Jarrett Cole, correct.
Jarrett Cole.
Yep. That's what he is when he's on the DL.
Yeah.
When he's on the injured reserve, or when he's playing like crap, it's Jarrett Cole. And he is certainly Jarrett Cole these days. But the Yankees did something remarkable, Terry, and I made sure to put it in the group chat.
Yeah.
You've been ignoring that lately because you've been busy. Batters 1, 2, and 3 hit first pitch home runs. Never been done.
Opening day.
1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Now it was against
garbage for a pitcher.
And it was against our old pitcher, who's now on the IL. He's on 15 days. Nestor Cortez. But yeah, batters 1, 2, and 3, first pitch for home runs.
That's cool.
Aaron Judge has already got 6 home runs, 17 RBIs, and a 1.1 OPS.
How many teams does he have more home runs than?
Almost all of them.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Definitely Atlanta.
Definitely Atlanta. But
Cincinnati.
He did not play well today. He struck out several times, and when it went to extra innings, they walked him because they didn't want any part of that.
Yeah, and that was probably smart. Yeah.
Well, he did hit in his 1,000th game. He did hit the home run over the wall So he tied Babe Ruth for number of home runs in the same amount of games. Because everyone thinks Babe Ruth was awesome, and he was, but he had the run with the Red Sox, and he wasn't really, really, really the guy until he had the run with New York. And Lou Gehrig made him better. But, it is what it is.
I think not pitching kind of helped at some point, too.
Well, that too.
That
I mean,
too.
look at Ohtani. So,
Yeah.
I know it's not in the notes, but we're going to talk about the Dodgers because they are the team.
Yeah.
So Ohtani, on his bobblehead night, is in the ninth inning, last outs, bottom of the ninth, last chance. They throw him a ball, and he put it in deep center field. And I don't know that it's landed yet. The dude is ridiculous. I mean, Shohei is ridiculous. And then Roki's pitching. He pitched against Philly yesterday, had better control. He's going to be a menace if he can put the ball where he wants to put it. Because his off-speed stuff is, when it drops off the table, it drops, and nobody's going to hit it. Nobody. But he's got to get the placement down. 23 years old. I think we should probably give him a break. And he's a Dodger. So if he pitches badly against the Braves or the Yankees, it's okay with us, So
yeah.
But yeah, Shohei on bobblehead night put it out of the park, and I don't know that it's landed yet. So hard not to like him. But other than the odds
torpedo bats are the rage, and
so
the Yankees have a big.
I'm going to turn this over to Allison for the science part, and then I'm going to talk the baseball part.
Okay. So the Yankees hired an MIT scientist to help them develop a new style of bat. That bat is legal. The Yankees are not the only team using this bat. Please note. Also, Aaron Judge is not using the torpedo bat.
Nope. And is on pace for over 100 home runs, which we all know he won't hit. But
correct. So
literally pace.
So the science is you move the mass of the bat to the area of impact. So you you kind of shape the barrel of the bat to put the highest width at the impact spot.
Yeah, and the problem is that the Yankees put 35 runs on the Brewers in 3 games. And Jazz uses that bat, and Volpe uses that bat. And the first baseman, whose name just escaped me, came from St. Louis, Goldschmidt, uses a variation of the bat, as does Bellinger. Aaron Judge does not use that bat. Aaron Judge also does not believe in the beard policy changing. So he's going to do what he's going to do. Now, the rule is 3.02 from the MLB rulebook. Bats cannot be more than 2.61 inches in diameter or 42 inches in length. They can be as heavy as you want them to be. Not exceed width or that length.
Because
so Judge's bat, as an example, is going to be heavier than Volpe's, and it's going to be heavier than Jazz's, because the man's 6'7" and 285. He's not going to swing their baseball bat.
That's correct.
But it's perfectly within the rules. And by the way, these bats have been around for at least 2 seasons. And Giancarlo Stanton used one in the playoff and became the AL MVP of the playoffs. So
look at that.
Yep. And we don't know when he'll be back either. There's no rush, no timetable. But yeah. Oh well. When they add him, it's going to be stupid because
I know.
Volpe's going to get 30. Jazz is going to get 30.
I said it to you the other day. I'm the kind of Yankee fan who wants the 10-run buffer. Okay. I love my team, but that 10-run buffer just makes me feel a lot better.
Well, the problem is that the bullpen has cost them 2 games against Arizona, and as good offensively as they are, you can't give up a grand slam in the 9th inning. 9th inning. Blew the game. Or 8th inning. Either way. blew the
Does
game.
anybody have a decent bullpen these days? I mean, it seems like everybody.
Well, I don't even know what you call a bullpen because Devin Williams blew the lead today. Tell me a season when he wasn't hurt. Coach, it doesn't matter. $40 million a year because he was Mr. October. And a big reason the Yankees were in the playoffs. So, but yes, he gets hurt often. It's all that muscle mass. That'll happen. But yeah, Allison, contain yourself.
Sorry.
But
That was more for Andrew. Sorry.
Yeah, well, you all know I love Giancarlo.
Yeah.
But he'll be back, and Luis Hill will be back, and the Yankees will be fine. So
yeah.
Bellinger dealt with a sore back already, but he's not been hitting well either. Had an amazing spring training. We got to see him hit a couple balls while we were there. But we got to find the rhythm, find the groove. And they got Detroit tomorrow, Tuesday, and Wednesday early instead of late because of the weather. So they're all afternoon games now.
Okay.
We do have a fun segment, Terry, planned about baseball. Yes. Predictions, yes or no. And we're all going to give our predictions, and the chat can join in on this too, because this came directly from the talking heads on ESPN and MLB and the rest. Prediction number 1, and I'm not going to say number 1 every time. We're just going to go down the list. Aaron Judge hits 55 home runs regular season. Yes or no?
Yes.
We all agree, yes. Shohei goes 50-50 again. 50 home runs, 50 stolen bases, Shohei Ohtani.
Yes. I think no.
I'm going yes. Yankees win the division and 100 games.
Yes.
No, I say 98 games.
98 games. I am yes to both, particularly when you look at the way some of these teams are playing. And that question was rooted out of the love for the Mets, because apparently the Mets are getting all the love. Terry, our first shirt after 100 episodes really might be Stupid Mets.
Yeah, stupid Mets.
Stupid Mets. They got a Golden Glove. They got a Golden Glove right fielder in Juan Soto. Just ask all of their fans.
Well, let me just say there'll be plenty about the Phillies and the Mets when we get to the mascot list. But
understood.
Here.
Schwellenbach becomes the ace in Atlanta. Yes or no?
No. I
yes.
don't think so. I was pumping him up, but I think Strider will be the guy when he comes back. I think Schwellenbach's going to be good, but I think it's Strider.
You think it's Strider?
I say give it to him. It's his time. He's ready. I mean, he's from Nebraska.
I think it's 1 year too early, and I'm going to go no. The Atlanta Braves win the division. Did not put a win total on here, but win the division. They finished 3rd last year.
No.
I think the Phillies.
Agreed. Not the Mets, though. There he is. Juan Soto, 45 home runs. As a Met, not a Yankee.
Yes.
Yes.
No. I'm going no. Max Fried wins 20 games.
No.
No, I'm going to jinx him, but I think he hits the DL at some point.
I'm going to go yes, wins 20 games. Garrett Cole makes it back before October 1st for the playoffs.
What's the injury?
Tommy John.
Tommy John.
No.
Yankees insiders say he is 4 months ahead and could be back for the playoffs. But that could be delusional optimism. I'm going no, but it could be delusional optimism. Shohei wins the NL MVP.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Judge wins the AL MVP.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. The White Sox win 50 games this year. Now, everybody who may think we're making fun of the White Sox, 6 of their pitchers out of spring training have to have Tommy John surgery. And this is a notoriously cheap organization that does not pay for talent in a game that you have to pay for talent.
Before we vote.
Does the White Sox win 50 games? Terry's got a point.
Okay, so you said they're a cheap organization. This is centuries old at this point, or over a century old, that they're a cheap organization. The Black Sox name had nothing to do with the scandal. The owner would not pay for the players to get their uniforms cleaned, so they wore them for over a month without cleaning them, and they stunk and they turned black, and that's why they were called the Black Sox. So they're going to keep up with it there. So no, they're not going to win 50 games.
I think
Coach says, I'm a Fox fan. Don't judge me. Coach, we don't judge you. You can't help your ownership shit, kind of like the Pittsburgh game. I'm going with no, they don't win 50 games because they don't have the talent to win 50 games.
You have to be able to put together an offense and a defense.
Well, pitching especially, that many pitchers.
No. 6 pitchers, that's what I mean. Tommy John surgery out of spring training.
Yeah, I just don't. That is tough. I feel for them. I might root for them.
They've already won a few games, but what I'm saying is they can't sustain it. Because when you get deep into a 162 game season, that's when it matters.
Yeah, you could supplement losing all the pitchers if you had amazing hitting. Guess what? They don't.
They got this new guy named Hank Bomas that he's huge, and he showed up the other day. I'm just kidding. Carry on. I was bored.
Here's one: the not Oakland A's make the playoffs.
Oh. No.
I'm going yes, because every talking head in the world thinks they're going to make the playoffs. And again, it might be too early to predict. Okay, so this one is the last one written just for Allison Faye. The Dodgers win the division, win 100 games, win the pennant, win the World Series. So you have 4 choices. Division,
yes.
100 games,
yes.
Pennant,
yes.
World Series.
Yes. They are the team to beat. I am sorry.
Yeah. I want to say no, but I got to say yes also.
We're going to piggyback on this. The Dodgers will win the division, and they have the hardest division in baseball right now, at least the NL. They will win 100 games. They will win the pennant. I believe they will win the World Series right now. Right now, I believe they'll win the World Series. And this is why, because Allison just said it, and it's true. There's not one hole in the Los Angeles Dodgers game.
No.
Pitching, defense, stealing bases, hitting the ball. They don't have a hole. Oh, and by the way, they've got a manager that's taken them to several World Series, so he probably knows what he's doing. And even though she hates Dave Roberts, Allison and I, we joke about this because she once insulted Dave Roberts' wife, which is hilarious. We'll tell that story sometime. Maybe now, I don't know. But the Terry hasn't heard it.
I told you this story.
We're gonna have to tell it now. Because I teased it. But the Dodgers, there's a reason that opening day in Japan, and yes, I know Yoshi was there and Shohei and Roki, $42 million gate, merchandise, food, beverages, in 2 games for the Japan series. Everybody can fuss and cry and whine about opening day. But as long as you keep generating $40 million in a weekend, guess what they're going to keep doing? They're going to keep going back to Japan. And there's not a hole in the Dodgers game. I'll say this, and then Allison can tell the story so we stay on time. Shohei Ohtani is making $1 million this year. As of this recording, he has over $100 million in endorsement. Twice as much as Michael Jordan had as a 6-time NBA basketball champion in one season. So, why did you embarrass yourself with Dave Roberts' wife?
Okay, so many years ago, after it was the year or 2 years after the Dave Roberts incident with the Yankees, I am in San Diego on a business trip, And as I always try to do if I am traveling on a business trip during baseball season, I try to catch a local game so I can get to as many stadiums as possible. So I did that for this one. I walked up to the ticket counter. I'm like, give me the best seat you've got. One woman's like, you want to go? You're by yourself? And I'm like, yes, I'm by myself. Doesn't matter. I do it all the time. I love baseball, blah, blah, blah. She's like, I got the perfect section for you. All right, here you go. Great. I go in, I get some food, I sit down, game starting. And I notice I'm sitting around a lot of women. And I'm like, that's really weird, right? And so like we all start talking and chatting, and it's really nice. And the game starts, and I said something like, "Oh God, there's Dave Roberts." And she's like, "What? You don't like Dave Roberts?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm a Yankees fan." I was like, "I think it's like contractually, obligated that I don't like it." And now she starts hysterically laughing, and I'm like, "I'm missing something, and I don't know what." And she goes, "You know how you were wondering what kind of section you're sitting in?" She's like, "Yeah, this is the wives and girlfriends section." And I look at her, I'm like, "You're Dave Roberts' wife, aren't you?" She's like, "Yeah, yeah." So I completely embarrassed myself.
Wow.
It was fantastic. She was gracious, lovely. I enjoyed my time. It is a wonderful stadium where, if you do not know this, the reason it is Petco Park, you can bring your dogs to the game, which is amazing. So I spent some time out in the outfield petting dogs. Good time.
Nice. Nice.
You didn't say anything too bad. I mean,
No,
you
I
said,
did it. I don't think.
I don't think.
I hope I didn't.
Well, she would understand, though, being Dave Roberts' wife, and he was a Red
Right.
Sox.
Exactly.
right.
She would get it. She would understand. But that was fun.
Yeah.
Terry, what was not fun was the fact that Auburn, the number one team in the country for most of the season, went to the Final Four and found the Gators. And
Found him in the second half for sure because had the lead at halftime. Janai Broom had 12 points in the first half, 3 points in the second half because Florida adjusted. And Auburn continued to not be able to guard Clayton, and he just lit them up. He had like 34, 35 points. At this point, I think he's the best player on the court for anybody. That at least in the last couple of weeks, I think he scored over 30 the last 2 rounds, with it getting increasingly harder. And Auburn, I think at one point may have been the best team in the country, but I think other teams got better and Auburn did not, and that's what happened.
when I saw the Final Four was Duke, Houston, Auburn, Florida. I said, okay, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be Auburn and Duke's going to win the championship.
Right.
And then Duke blew it last night with 35 seconds left, up by 9 or 8.
What?
No. Yeah, they
I
scored.
think it was a minute and 20-something seconds left, and they were up 7 or 9 or something like that.
Yeah, it was 9. Maybe it was a minute that long. Yeah. So anyway, they couldn't hit the broadside of a barn inside those last 30 seconds. Not even close.
They couldn't pass the ball in either. I mean, they got it stolen.
Probably got the best basketball player in the country in Flag. Right. He's going number 1 in the draft. Mm-hmm. And it's not question. There's no question he's going number 1 in the draft. But yeah, I saw that as, oh my God. And then, of course, the Carolina fans around here are all celebrating because they'll never root for Duke, even if they lose to Houston in the Final Four. And so now it's kind of like Alabama-Auburn that way, Terry. Right. We're not rooting for them. And now you get 2 teams that really weren't expected to be in the Final Four. A lot of people didn't pick Houston to win this. A lot of people didn't pick Florida, but we have 2 people who picked Florida in our poll, and I'm rooting for the real coach. That would be Coach Keith, not the fake coach.
Oh, the 2 coaches. I didn't even realize it. Going ahead.
And the reason I call him the fake coach, Coach Rosie, because he never does anything, participates in. All of a sudden, he saw a basketball pool, and I am not giving him bragging rights.
He may listen to us just because he doesn't provide feedback. We don't know.
Yeah, I doubt he listens to us. We are not Eric Bischoff.
Thanks, Rosie. Thanks, Coach Rosie, for participating. I'll say it. Even if Andrew won't.
Jeff Jarrett or Eric Bischoff giving him life-changing advice, and other things. So, anywho, Auburn spring football going well?
Well, spring football always goes well, no matter what. It's like greatest team ever is the news for everybody out of spring football. We will see what those passes and those catches look like when there's somebody in a different color jersey trying to guard somebody. I mean, that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah. So Nebraska is in the finals of the Crown tournament right now in Las Vegas against UCF. This is not the NIT. Apparently, they get a split 300 grand if they win. I
All
read
right.
that.
Okay.
But yeah, they've beat everybody and they're in the finals. It's playing right now. Oh, shout out to Allison's former team because she don't watch it. UConn dominated
Yeah.
South Carolina today.
They did.
I think they won like 81-59. When
Yeah,
have you
the
ever seen
women.
Rod
Something like
Staley's
that, yeah.
basketball team get blown out like that? Good grief. When I saw they were in, I was like, oh, God, they're going back to back. Like, they're going to win, But UConn did it. And after Gino laid the NCAA wide open for their treatment of men versus women and traveling across the country and everything else, he let them hold it. But they won, I don't know how many championships that is, 10, 11, 12.
A lot. All our state signs are gonna have to all our highway signs are gonna have to be updated now.
Yeah, because this is
82 to 59. I just looked.
82-59 against South Carolina.
Wow.
Yeah. And we love Don Staley, and Coach
Yeah.
Gino's great too, because he's like the godfather of women's basketball. But yeah, I don't think they've won since 16. Is that right? 16 or 17, UConn?
Yeah,
So,
about right.
so they're going to have to update the signs. Who won't have to update the signs, Dan Hurley, because he got his ass bounced in the NCAA and then cussed everybody out the whole way, threatened some people on the way out the door.
Oh yeah, there's an investigation with
Yeah,
whoever that staff member getting in somebody's face.
What he was
Oh.
telling
Having
his
the
dad.
video.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's not good. It's not good for your boy. I say your boy, but like we picked St. John's, and Allison and I did not do our brackets together, but we picked St. John's, and they lost in the second round because apparently Cal Perry is a little bit more gangster than Rick Pitino. I don't know, but
I don't know. He did win the Naismith Coach of the Year.
well,
I guess they voted on that before he got booted in the second round.
So, yeah, Nebraska's in the Crown. Hardly Gilmore, which is a great name, Hardly Gilmore IV, has been bounced from the Nebraska football team. This was a high-level acquisition from Kentucky. He's been dismissed, Terry, and that's all we're saying, which means it was ugly. Yeah. And then Raiola has been putting in the work. So people body-shamed him over to winter and made a bunch of fat jokes. And
Excuse me?
Matt Rule said this is the quarterback. This is the guy that plays quarterback. Matt Rule in a press conference said, yeah, he can't play quarterback at 240. So people ran with it thinking that he was weighing 240 pounds. And now he came back from the winter diet, nutrition, blah, blah, blah. And his leg muscles have leg muscles. It was a big fuck you to everybody. So he's looking pretty good. But again, to your point, Terry, everybody looks good in spring practice. It's when it's live ball that matters.
The Georgia Bulldogs, they have racked up more arrests, and now they have more arrests since 2023 than wins.
Maybe Cyrus can teach the Georgia Bulldog football team about Uber since you've done this. Clearly, driving is not something any of them should be doing. And did I see something that said Carson Beck was headed back to Georgia? Or was that just somebody
He broke up with his girlfriend like right after he got down there or something.
And they stole his cars.
Yeah.
So he stole his car.
Oh, no.
Well, as Terry can tell you, Allison, because you don't follow it, this is Miami, and they have been a trash-ass team since before either of us were born. Because Terry doesn't like Miami any more than I do as a Nebraska fan, and I'm going to tell you right now, they are hot garbage all the time.
All righty.
Anyway, we going to talk about wrestling or what?
We are. I think we're starting with WWE, aren't we?
Well, we can because my man is making a big mistake turning on the tribal chief. Nobody wants to see CM Punk and Paul Heyman walk down the aisle together. Nobody. No, I don't care what
I don't
anybody
know.
says.
I don't
I don't
know.
care
There's
what
also always that suspicion with Paul
Yeah,
Heyman that it's all a big setup, and I love the anticipation of a setup.
cannot agree with you more, Terry. Like, I am just waiting for the payout of this, and it's gonna be so good, and I just know it. But I'm all right with
Seth
it.
Rollins has never been more useless in his fucking life, though. Seriously, because he's just standing there while Punk and Roman are fighting over Paul. Like, he's never been more useless in a professional wrestling ring. Ladies and gentlemen, if I may, sir. So Paul tells Roman, "I can't do that," and then all of a sudden, CM Punk attacks and hits the GTS, and Punk got his main event that he wanted. So here's the thing. That's presumptively main event night 1. Cody's main event night 2. I mean, Cody Cena.
Right.
There's not going to be any women in the main event, and Jey Uso, who won the Royal Rumble, will not be in the main event. I think they open night 1 with Jey Uso Gunther.
I could see it.
That'd be
Absolutely.
a good lead off. Yeah.
It'd be a great lead off. There's nothing wrong with leading off the show that strong. I'll tell you.
I prefer
I
it.
mean, yeah.
Well, here's the other thing. They're all on guaranteed contracts. It's not like any of them drew the house.
Yeah.
And let's be very, very honest. There's not more box office in the world, wrestling world, than Roman Reigns, CM Punk, John Cena, Cody Rhodes. And yes, I know Seth Rollins is in that match. Are you really pumped about this card? Hold that thought, because we're going to run down where we're at right now, Coach Keith. Jay and Gunther love the bloodbath on Raw, and I think it works because it's on Netflix. I don't know that they could have gotten away with that on USA.
Probably not.
I don't know that they would have done it, is what I'm saying.
Right.
Probably
Because Netflix, they can get away with it. So, he beats Jimmy up, leaves him laying bloody, and we finally have a personal issue to this story that you're on the 1 yard line, just punch it in. Jay wins, short run, be done with it. And you're done. You're done.
And being on Netflix, they're kind of building the expectation of having those types of things regularly.
Yeah.
That they would not have on USA.
Because wrestling doesn't, I mean, titles don't change hands on your weekly show.
Right.
But they have on Netflix, which is really good.
Yep.
And then Rhea versus Io versus Bianca, presumably, after that. They've made this way too messy. But I think it has to do with Bianca turning heel. I think you get Naomi helping her at the end of the match. Io probably eats the pin because they're not going to pin Rhea. Bianca wins the women's championship. But it's a terrible build. Speaking of terrible in women, what in the fuck are Charlotte and Titty Time doing? Good Lord. That was so bad on SmackDown.
So, did you hear that they pulled the segment from the video?
Yeah.
So Charlotte, and the chat can jump in on this. I know Coach Keith's here, Heather's here, George is here, or I assume y'all are, and y'all good wrestling fans. Charlotte Flair, 15 years in the business or more, and didn't know how to respond to the crowd just booing the shit out of her. So goes completely off script. And all of a sudden, Tiffany's firing live rounds about the number of divorces she's had and the plastic surgery. And I'm like, what did I just watch? Because that ain't it. Like, that's not the way this is supposed to go.
Yeah.
But it looked like live rounds to me. What did y'all think it was?
It was amateur hour.
Did you think it was something wrong with it, though, when you saw the promo?
Yes.
Like, it got
absolutely.
off track with it.
Oh, yeah. You knew right away. You knew right away where it got personal, that you were like, oh, this is not what they're supposed to be talking about. Mm-mm.
And they
it's going to be, I step on your toes, and then you turn around and hit me in the knee with a bat. I mean, that was kind of the response there.
Yeah. And I don't know that, Chicago did its job in that they booed the shit out of Charlotte.
Yeah.
I think she handled it poorly.
Yep.
I think Tiffy doing her little shtick and rhyme and whatever. I don't care. I don't care about this match. But I think Charlotte dropped the ball on this one. I don't think Tiffany did. Coach Keith says it was a train wreck. And it was. I mean, because she never got back on track either. Like,
Mhm.
there could be a train wreck. Like when Cena teased he wasn't going to say anything and he finally talks. Heather and Alex are here too. Thought it was personal. I couldn't tell who started it. I think the issue, she should know how to respond, especially considering she grew up in the business. Got showed up by a lesser. So we're all on the same page that it looks
But a
like
lot of people protect. Okay, let's get into that. A lot of people protect the flares a little bit. So maybe she's not as needed to learn these things along the way as somebody else would be.
Sure,
Right.
I could see that. But to be fair, you also don't when you go personal, it just lessens you,
Yeah.
you know? Um, she's a veteran at this point. She should know better. Making fun of Tiffy's voice and then saying Kaiser's in my DMs. No, that's
And
that's low.
the
Right.
problem with the Kaisers in my DMs is it was like it was a last second desperation.
Yep.
I'm
Oh
going to
yeah.
throw the yard at you while you're leaving thing.
Yep.
But it wasn't.
Fade away corner 3 to try to win the game.
But it
Mhm.
wasn't portrayed as the fadeaway corner 3, Terry. In that you could tell it was real.
Yeah.
And that it wasn't staged to be the
Mhm.
corner 3. Like she's
Right.
really trying to hit that last shot. And you're like,
Yep.
shut up. This segment sucks. It's done.
Yeah.
It's over. Just wrap it up.
Yeah. But
So I think Charlotte has looked horrible throughout all of this. I said a month ago, make her Queen Circe. But they haven't done that either, which,
Nope.
and they don't have to listen to me, although I've told Triple H I'm available for booking. I've told Tony Khan too. He doesn't listen. But anyway, I don't know that this match isn't going to just be the popcorn potty break, drink, let's go eat dinner match, because who cares?
No.
And I think to Alex's point, he said, I definitely thought it got personal. I couldn't tell who started it. I think there's real life animosity between the two because one is a better version of the other, or one is the younger model of the other at this point.
Yeah.
Because they put the rocket to Tiffy while Charlotte was out. And you got to believe there's probably a little bit of jealousy and a little bit of wanting to hold on to that spot, but I'm not interested in the match. So, Coach Keith, that one makes it off my list for WrestleMania. I don't even care.
No, that's potty break. Agree.
Yeah, I mean, and I say it's the potty break match, but I mean, the build has been bad. The execution has been bad. The story is not good. I mean, put it on SmackDown in the main event and call it a night. We don't need it on WrestleMania at that point. What we do need on WrestleMania, though, Terry, is throwing it back to when John Cena takes on Cody Rhodes for the world title. And he's going to get the spinner belt out. And him and The Rock, they're going to get the spinner belt out, which I thought was hilarious when he said he was going to bring back the spinner belt that everybody shit on.
I got so excited. I love the spinner belt.
You would.
I have one.
I still think he needs to win it and then put a big chain around his neck.
Oh,
A spinner chain. That's what he needs.
So Cody gets the better of him and leaves him laying, but I think this is indicative of the fact Cody's doing the job at Mania to John Cena. We're getting number 17.
I didn't think we were gonna, but I think you're right. I didn't think it was gonna happen. I thought they were gonna drag it out a lot longer, but I think you're right. I think not only does he win it, he holds it for a little while.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, Cody has looked like Mr. I'm holding my dick in my hand for like the last 3 weeks. This guy beat the crap out of you at Elimination Chamber, along with The Rock and Travis Scott, and they gave you the busted eardrum and the black eye and all. And you just want to go stand out there and talk to him, That's not the way professional wrestling works. And then you left him laying with the crossroads. And if you guys noticed, like when The Rock put him down with the rock bottom at WrestleMania 40, it was one crossroads and Cena stayed down. I think there's meaning to it unless they just overlooked it.
Heather says, I get Cena and Cody should be good, but the 30-minute promos every week from Cena is a bit much.
I think it's just enough because we're finally getting healed John Cena. But, everybody has their own taste in wrestling. And he has to reintroduce himself to an audience that he's been away from. And this is a different motif. Vince McMahon would never, ever, ever let Cody and John Cena go out there for 20 minutes and shoot on each other about your dick is bigger on the mic than it is in those jorts. And then what did he say to Cody? I build billionaires' companies. You just steal money from their kids, shooting on the AEW.
Oh,
Yeah, that was great. But do they need to bring in previous tenure? And do we need to talk about Cody and AEW? Does it matter? I don't think it does. But that's where if they have the agreement they can get personal, it's fine.
Yeah.
I don't think Tiffany and Charlotte have that agreement.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, it gets really good when they agree on it. We're going to go here, and they both kind of go to the same level.
Mhm.
It makes it better because you
Yes.
wonder about it, but you can kind of tell when they allow that because they had to do some of that with Seth Rollins when CM Punk came back. So
Well, Seth Rollins and Punk, Drew and Punk. Now you're going to
Yeah.
get Roman and Punk. Punk is the common denominator. He wants to
Right.
do that till his feelings get hurt. So hopefully, when the tribal chief lays him open, his feelings don't get hurt because it's going to happen.
I don't know if it makes sense, but I'd like to see Charlotte interfere and help Cody win to keep him from getting another one.
Oh my goodness, Terry!
What?
Because keeping Rick's legacy intact.
Oh.
And helping Dusty's son.
Shit.
Yeah, Ric Flair is so drunk these days. You should read his Instagram post about Cena in the 70s.
Or I'm just saying so that she is the one to do it. You know what I'm saying? Not
mean, it's
necessarily him as much.
Yeah, if Reed Flair was around, that's exactly how they'd book it. But unfortunately, he passed away. I don't know that they'll have
So
the woman.
maybe they're not calling me to book anytime soon either.
Well, you're not that far off, though. It would work.
I did have hold on a second because I forgot I made this prediction because I made it to my dad, but I wanted to bring it up back to the CM Punk discussion. I said CM Punk is going to almost win at WrestleMania, and then Drew McIntyre is going to come in and rob him of it.
I would be okay
for last year.
I don't like CM Punk. We do want to mention though, Kevin Owens is out. Neck surgery announced.
Yep.
Leaked. He was offended by it. That sucks. Kevin Owens had 2 bangers, one with Austin and one with Sammy against the Usos. So that sucks because I do like Kevin Owens. Not that anyone needs my opinion on wrestling, but you're listening, so thank you. But I think he and Orton would have had a hell of a match at WrestleMania, the way they were going.
Absolutely.
And we would have finally got Orton kicking him in the head. They could have done the angle where he kicks him in the head before WrestleMania, and then you hear, oh, he needs neck surgery. But we talked about it on this show. I know we did. They said it's been about 4 months. That means when they did that Royal Rumble match, and he's taking all those bumps on that ladder, he's taking it with a neck that needs surgery. The way he took that Alabama slam through the ladder, the way they did the headshots, all that stuff. If it's truly 4 months, it's only April the 5th or 6th, then that means that he was injured before that match and did it anyway. So shout out to Kevin Owens. I love him. I hope he stays with the WWE. I just hope, and I'd like to see him have one more really good run with like the world title. But I don't know if we will, but I'd love to see it.
Anyway. I think he's that guy that fills a gap when they need it to in a pay-per-view with a good match because he's going to provide it, and I don't know that they give him much more than that anymore.
Nope. Now to wrap it up, because Keith did ask us, what do we think about WrestleMania card? Yep. I think for me, well, actually, you guys go first. You go first because I know what my opinion is. You go first, Terry, or Allison, either one.
Okay. You didn't know which way to point.
I don't know which way you are.
So I'm excited about Cena.
Didn't mean to. Go ahead, Terry.
Cena and Punk. Overall, not super excited. But there's a couple of matches I'm excited to see. I mean, but can you get 2 nights out of that? I don't know.
Yeah. I'll be honest. What am I looking forward to the most? I would really like Becky to return. Please, God.
Yeah.
It's been too long without her. That's really, honestly, the thing I'm looking forward to most.
I think for me, it's a 2-match card.
Okay.
Cena and Rhodes, and the triple threat between Rollins,
Hmm.
Reigns, and Punk. I will say, though, the one that's going to steal the show, because I'm going to watch the whole thing, but the one that's going to steal the show, AJ Styles versus Logan Paul.
Oh.
It's going to steal the show. Without a doubt. And I guess we're going to get Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight, and God, I hope Jacob Fatu just steamrolls him in about 4 minutes, And the reason I say that is because it's just like Jacob Fatu should be treated as inevitable. They should treat him like they treated Brock Lesnar. This is a killer. This is a guy that you don't want to mess with. He doesn't run. He doesn't hide. He comes in, he beats the crap out of everybody, and he leaves. And he goes home and gets his paycheck, So I don't have anything for LA Knight. And the other matches I'm sure will be fine. We're going to see more than likely a ladder match for the Intercontinental title, the way things are going there. Pentagon is going to get his big debut at WrestleMania. Rey Fenix debuted on SmackDown. You'll see that. But for me right now, it's a 2-match card. And it'd be the only reason I watch it, because I want to see what they're going to do with John Cena. And I want to see how this whole wise man, CM Punk, Paul Heyman, Seth Rollins in. And not to mention, not just Seth Rollins is in that match because he's the best worker available to be in that match. Roman's good. Punk is okay, for his age. He's actually very good for his age. But Seth Rollins is there to make it happen. So, and then, of course, Paul Heyman is probably the one behind the storyline, the whole, so God knows what we'll see. But we know what we'll see tonight, Terry. Well, I will, unless you're going to Dave & Buster's. I bought a 2-pack. AEW Dynasty looks like a house show, but I don't know. What do you say? Want to talk about Dynasty?
Let's do it. I tried to split it up where we could see them, and I split it up based on interesting matches. And of course, here's the first page. We've got Owen Hart tournament quarterfinal matches. I can't be any less interested in this tournament every year. I just can't.
So apparently Jay White was going to be in the Kevin Knight spot. Is that his name? Kevin Knight? Yep. I don't even know the guy.
Yeah, it's Kevin Knight.
He's got a pretty good resume from what it looks like wrestling. But, okay, so you put someone up against Will Ospreay on a pay-per-view. My bet is that Will Ospreay is going to win the match.
Right.
Correct.
Kyle Fletcher versus Mark Briscoe. God bless you, Mark. But, I mean,
Fletcher,
Yeah, it's Fletcher. And then Mercedes versus Julia. I don't see Mercedes parting ways with that belt, or even if it's not on the line. I guess it's for the tournament. I don't see Mercedes losing. She's probably going to win this thing. So then she can be 4 belts, Monet, and
5 belts.
the Owen Hart winner. Yeah.
Yeah,
so I
think it's pretty straightforward.
My prediction is there'll be good matches, but this does nothing for me, for as far as intrigue or anything.
Same. Next.
Oh, speaking of does nothing for me, good slide, Terry.
Hey, I told you I put them in order.
The Hurt Syndicate, not business, versus Big Bill and the Bad Apple Brian Keith.
Yep.
I don't live in a world where Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin don't retain those tag titles.
No chance. So let's put somebody in this spot. Here we go.
Uh-oh. But I couldn't find anybody
to go
with who didn't want to go to the show 6 hours by myself. Oh, and Keith brings up a good point, because I've made this comment in the group chat a couple times, a couple different comments. If these people don't bring it in Philly, Philly's going to chew them up.
Oh
and
yeah.
spit them
Yes.
out because they don't
Yeah.
tolerate bullshit in
No.
Philadelphia.
Nope.
You won't see bullshit, I don't think, from that tag match. Will probably actually be pretty good. But I don't, again, live in a world where the Hurt Syndicate is going to lose their tag team
Right.
titles in Philadelphia.
I mean, just like the 6-mag tag, it's going to be a good match, but does anybody really care? No.
If it's got Adam Copeland in it, I officially am like Tony Schiavone, NFL TG. Because I cannot stand Cope. The opening
And
ceremony,
Heather's pointing out my favorite part. They're opening with a multi-man match.
he can't
Yeah.
train wreck. Heather, what multi-man match is it? If you can tell me, because I don't have.
All I know right now, there's Action Andretti,
Oh, it's that
AR
one.
Fox, Leo Rush, Top Flight.
Yeah, Top Flight, and then
Yep.
and Nick Wayne. Yeah,
Nick Wayne. That's it. Yep, that's
Nick
happening
Wayne,
right now.
who doesn't look like he got beaten enough as a child. Anyway, that match sucks, by the way.
Yeah.
More flippy nonsense. But this trios match, I think, is more about the story with FTR and Cope, and probably the turn. FTR going to beat the crap out of Cope and either join the Death Riders or just beat the crap out of him and leave him laying. So,
Okay.
and I think
And
Bandito
then-
finally beats Chris Jericho for the Ring of Honor World Title. At least I hope so, because they're not getting any television deal for ROH. There's no reason for Jericho to keep holding the title.
I would agree with that. I'm ready for that.
So we don't see the mask come off, is what you're saying.
I don't believe so. No. Oh, is that a stipulation?
It is. It's a title versus mask.
Oh, and the cricket referee. She must be talking about Bryce Rensburg. He can't keep his ass on the ground when he's doing a 3 count. What an idiot! I love that cricket referee. That's
Oh my
perfect.
goodness.
Yeah. So I think Bandito wins. Then if the mask is up, I didn't know the mask was up because I don't watch this nonsense. This is collision garbage. I've gone to watching AEW mostly on X. No lie. It's baseball season, and I have the MLB app. So
Hide money.
can't hide money. That Dax paired off with this, and the cricket referee. That Dax paired off. Yeah, exactly. So I think Jericho wins. If the mask is up, they're just tipping their hand.
Yeah.
They're not.
You think Jericho's going to win? So he
I
loses
think
the mask?
I think Bandito
Oh,
wins.
okay.
Bandito wins.
Oh, okay.
If the mask is up, Bandito wins.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're gonna unveil. All right, Terry. Next slide of bullshit. What do we got?
It gets a little bit better. So
Seth, who have you?
a little bit better. I mean, it's for better titles at least.
The TNT title is the jobber title. I will not be told otherwise. Ain't made no
Women's
sense
title's
since Sammy
over here.
Guevara had it.
This men's match does nothing for me. I couldn't care
Yeah.
less if either one of them wins. But the women's match, I know Andrew's not a fan, but I've watched Megan Bain. She wrestled up here, and I like her, and she's pretty good, and she's a great match, I think, for Tony. I think this could be the surprise of the night.
It's not that I don't like her. It's that I think she's booked improperly. And what I mean by that is they've spent 3 weeks making her like this monster that Tony needs to use. And you do one of two things, and then you have to ask the question. You either give Megan Bain the title and make her by beating Tony Storm, who is, by the way, the hottest woman in your promotion and probably one of the faces of your company, or you go ahead and have said face of your company beat somebody you just spent 3 to 4 weeks making look like a monster, and then you ask yourself, then what?
Right.
Then what? So the money match to me is Mercedes Moné, Tony Storm, Texas, all in July. That's what they need to build to.
Yeah, I agree.
So Megan Bain has to lose. It doesn't hurt big heels to lose. The thing is, when you've got a roster with people like Deonna Purrazzo, Thunder Rosa, Chris Statlander, etc., this to me is a waste of Megan Bain in this match this fast. Okay. The top match, Adam Cole being an absolute scumbag yesterday on Collision, was a little funny. He still doesn't know what his tan looks like. He's jaundiced or he eats too many carrots, one or the other. And Daniel Garcia has no. I have more business cutting a promo and do a better job on this podcast than he does cutting one on television. So he had, Danny Garcia there has no business even in it. This match sucks. The Undisputed Kingdom or whatever, they're going back heels. Danny Garcia is going to get screwed. Whatever. I don't care. Because Okada is not on this show, Terry.
I know. Sad.
Okada is not on this show. MJF is not on this show. Hangman Adam Page is not on this show. And these are people who've invested top line creative in.
Well, Hangman Page may not be booked on the show. I am betting dollars to doorknobs we see him.
Oh yeah, in the main event. Yeah, when Yuta tries to hit the bullshit knee. Okay, up next, Terry. What do you think on this? Because we didn't ask you.
You may go to the next slide, you're saying?
No, actually, I wanted your opinion first.
Okay.
I started to say up next, but you never told us.
I never. Okay. So I think Tony Storm wins, and I think you're right about why did you book it this way. And then for the Garcia Cole match, this says no outside interference. Does that mean anybody can interfere at any time and that's fine? If that means that, then this is going to be a damn mess.
Yeah, so no outside interference because apparently the last 2 or 3 have ended with other people involved. So they're saying that nobody's allowed to be at ringside.
Okay, nobody's allowed.
Yeah.
I thought, okay. That's a little different than what was in my head. I think Garcia still wins. I don't know. I don't know that I care a whole lot about this match. It's like hard to pick. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to pick because I'm not interested.
It's a Rampage main event, and Rampage doesn't exist anymore. So put it on pay-per-view. That's what it is. Now you can go to the next slide, sir, because I didn't mean to not include.
That's okay. I was Googling something to figure out that outside interference thing.
Now we're getting better.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
These are the only 2 matches I care about on this show, like genuinely. And I'll tell you why, but you all go first.
All I want to say is huge fan of Speedball Bailey. He is a great wrestler. Seen him a couple times, mostly with like GCW. Big fan. Really glad he's getting a push. Do I think he should be in this match? No. But happy to see him here. First match, the top one, I say Kenny is the man. Retains. Bottom match, it's all about Swerve, and this is where I was saying before. This is where I think we see Hangman Page coming in and helping Swerve get the win.
All right.
Terry?
I don't.
Go ahead, Terry.
I don't see any way Omega doesn't win that match. I think there's going to be a lot of high flying. Obviously, you got Ricochet, Omega, and Speedball here, and they've set up for this to be all over the place. But Omega's going to win that. I do question Moxley or Swerve. I mean, especially because it's AEW and Tony Khan booking it. Because I've thought that Moxley would lose sometimes, and he didn't. Is this going to be another one of those? I don't know, but it's definitely the best match of the whole show.
Kenny Omega should not lose to Ricochet or Speedball because he's Kenny fucking Omega. You've all forgotten. He is the gold standard of AEW. And he's the best wrestler in AEW. And it's not close. It's not close at all. He reminded Will Ospreay that he's the best wrestler in the world. So this match will be fine. It'll be fun. There's going to be way too much flippy for my taste. Yeah. I just don't believe that you kill Omega's comeback by having him lose a triple threat. Even if you were to say have Ricochet pin Bailey after Omega hits the one-winged angel. I just don't think that you go there. Now, as for the main event, what Tony should do, and I don't trust him to do, is to erase the last 6 months and put the belt back on Swerve Strickland where it belonged, because Bryan Danielson never needed it, never should have had it, never should have interrupted the Swerve run. And this Moxley run needs to be euthanized like Jack Kevorkian is back out of prison. This thing has got to go. I'm glad you got that reference, Allison.
I got it.
You're old enough to know who Dr. Death was, but not the wrestler from Texas, the JR. Or Oklahoma, the JR recruit. Sassafras, Dr. Death, Steve Williams. Three-time athlete, All-American, had to wrestle Ron Simmons in the Orange Bowl. Anyway, I think what I want to happen, Swerve Stomp, world champion, boom, we're done. What I believe, I think, I know is going to happen is Tony Khan's going to fuck it up and John Moxley walks out of here somehow with the world championship.
Yeah. Yep.
Beating the hottest act in AEW's men's division. So that's where I'm at.
Shame.
I believe that's all our slides for that. That's all the
Okay.
match. So
Well, we're over time and it's my fault, but we're going to talk about something.
we got 40 minutes. Let's let me move the slide. So this week, if you didn't already know, we are ranking costumed sports mascots, and let us tell you where we came up with this. March Madness is still happening, and baseball season just started. And colleges and baseball teams have a lot of mascots, and those are the most interesting mascots to us. We got a lot of feedback. I knew that we'd get a lot of feedback. Everybody thinks that their team's mascot is the greatest thing ever. We couldn't put 250 mascots on the list. And I know I just offended somebody's mascot by saying that, but why don't we go ahead and dive into it? Here's the Blame Terry page. We got complaints about not enough hockey mascots. I don't know any hockey mascots, so put that on me. We did not have Rowdy from the Cowboys, which honestly probably should have put him on there.
We have Pistol Pete. Shut the hell up, Dave. Yeah, Pistol Pete.
That's not who complained about this.
I can tell James Okerai to shut up.
No, it wasn't James. It was Randy.
Randy Okerai?
Randy, yeah.
Oh,
but he was
Randy.
He wasn't pissed or anything, but he's like,
He
"Where's
wouldn't
they at?"
dare. No.
But we're having fun. We love Randy. He's great.
Yes.
T-Rack for the Titans. That's from Frank.
Oh my God.
I don't even know who that is. Sorry, honey.
I looked him up. Rumble the Bison from the Thunder. That also came from Randy. And I'm sure he's a great mascot, but it's one of those where we just barely had any NBA mascots, and he didn't quite make it. I can't say that he didn't belong. I don't know. And then the last one, I don't know if you noticed the note here. I did not put the Duke Blue Devil, and nobody gave a shit because nobody wanted to see the Duke Blue Devil anyway.
So, to be fair, I have never really rooted for a team with a mascot. So this was very hard for me. I went to an engineering college. We were the engineers. We did not have a mascot.
You don't have like a guy with a protractor or something?
No, we do have the school chant, though, remember, that includes pi to 5 digits. So
okay.
Yeah. But anyway.
Is it
so
sine,
this was
cosine,
very hard.
Cosine, sine,
Yes.
3.14159?
You know it.
There we go.
Right.
That's great.
Damn nerds.
Yes, I am. All right, let's do this.
Third Rock from the Sun, by the way. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
They had a basketball game and they were doing that. They stole that from your school, huh?
They did.
Okay, so that's the Blame Terry list. I will also say I looked up details about Chief Osceola just to make sure, and I left him off the list because according to Florida State University and the Seminole Tribe, he is not a mascot. He is a tribute. And they got a good thing going, so we might as well honor that. So he's not on the list.
And he's a human.
Well, the leprechaun's a human also.
Yeah, I was thinking more like when I say human, you know what I mean, though. He's actually he's like a warrior.
Right.
Yeah. Leprechauns aren't real, Terry.
No, I'm saying there is a guy at Notre Dame that does not put on a furry head. That's what I meant.
Yeah, but he comes out with a horse and a spear.
Right. It is definitely a tribute, and he's not doing goofy stuff like my guy back here behind me, Albie,
Yeah.
doing goofy stuff all the time. But anyway, so that's page 1. Page 2, and let's get ready for the quick reaction here. Almost made the list.
Oh no.
And there's Herbie, and look at this. We got Brutus Buckeye. The Big Ten did not do well in this ranking.
Nobody's gonna vote for anything from Ohio. Ohio sucks.
And then Chicago Bulls, and who are those guys?
That's
Those are the
the
running presidents.
the racing presidents
Oh, yeah.
in Washington. Now, I will say Bober did this pretty well. He wasn't ticked off or anything, but he pointed out the sausages, the pierogies, and the presidents are not mascots. They are in-game entertainment. And I said, okay, that's fine, but I wanted to talk about them because they're damn awesome.
Yeah,
I
they are.
voted for them.
So did I.
Yeah, I don't believe that Herbie Husker just missed the list. We're going to need a recount. This is not the good Herbie either.
I think he was number 11.
This is the old Herbie. Well, somebody voted
Yeah,
at
that's
number
another
1.
thing. I should have consulted you on the picture, by the way. I know he changed hair color and everything.
Yeah, that's the old Herbie. That's not the good Herbie.
Okay.
Well, it's okay. That's the new Herbie. That's not the old Herbie.
Okay.
The old Herbie had red hair, bib overalls, the hat, the whole deal.
He's also had blonde hair at some point, right?
Or blonde hair. He had blonde hair,
Yeah.
excuse me. And red, yeah, but he wore red and white.
Right.
So my childhood room was all Nebraska. I had Herbie Husker, not this bullshit one, the real one, wallpaper in the bedroom. We were that committed to the cause.
Wow.
Definitely not Lil Red.
Yeah, when wallpaper was a thing, I had Nebraska wallpaper at the top of the ceiling. Yeah, that is
Okay.
legit. And it stayed that way till my dad sold that house in 2017. It never changed. Or 16. Never changed. And it got redone in when I was 12. So that would have been 97 or 98. So for 18 years, that room had Herbie Husker wallpaper.
Nice.
In all honesty, Herbie is only a sentimental favorite. I have several other mascots that I like a lot. But Herbie should still win because this is our show.
Let me tell you, I voted for a lot of mascots of teams that I don't like at all.
Same.
It felt pretty bad. And I texted you guys about one of them because I'm like, holy crap, I should have voted before this.
Yeah.
Because that damn Gator mascot was on there, and I like him, and I voted for him in my top 10. The day that they beat Auburn. Anyway.
So blame Terry.
Let's go to number 10. Speaking of teams I don't like, Big Al from the University of Alabama. He's okay.
I mean, he's an elephant.
He's
I
decent
like
for a
elephants.
mascot.
So.
I mean, you can do some fun stuff with that trunk.
That's what he said. I think Andrew's just in a depression now. He doesn't want.
Oh no, I'm good. I just realized that I've been recording off of my webcam the whole time because my microphone didn't get plugged in when I set this new rig up. So anyway, the audio might sound a little different today. You guys said I sounded fine, so I just
You
rolled
did.
on.
You do.
Didn't even look at it. But anyway, yeah, Big Al, I voted for him mostly because I want to know what an elephant and Crimson Tide have anything to do with each other.
Well, we in this state, we come up with a lot of different things like that. When I was a student at Auburn, we had an eagle named Tiger, if that's confusing enough for you. Anyway, I was very happy when I looked at the list because number 9, Aubrey the Tiger, one spot above Big Al, and it's probably because of me.
Aubie.
And here he is in his jersey and his headband, and he's at Tiger Walk. The players have walked through, or he may be leading them or something. Everybody's reaching out, and he's bobbing his head back and forth.
Okay.
And Terry, go ahead and tell us how many Tigers are there in the Southeastern Conference?
Almost all of them. So there's 3 of the 5.
Wow.
Yeah. And they're all in the Southeast because Memphis and Clemson are both also in the Southeast.
And we have Missouri and LSU And of course,
and R. Yeah.
Wow.
There's all the tigers are in the southeastern United States.
How come
They don't
there's
have
no
them up in,
koalas
that would be a good one.
or like anteaters?
Oh, I'm sure there's some like Division 3 anteaters team. I'm gonna have to look that up.
Probably.
That
Just
might
like
be
the-
another list.
Just like the North Dakota State bison, they're buffalo.
Yeah, and they go by bison. They want you to say it like a Z, bison.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sure.
weirdo.
Number 8, the gorilla for the Phoenix Suns. And I know you've seen a lot of videos. He's been on Sports Center several times. Definite Hall
Okay,
of
so-
Famer.
Truth be told, I didn't know this was the actual mascot.
I assume
How
it
would
is.
I know? I thought it was like a guy wearing a gorilla suit at the game. Just like wrestling has green shirt guy, I thought this was the Phoenix Sun guy.
Just like always with every list, somebody could debate me enough to tell me I'm wrong about some of this stuff. But
Yeah, no, I
don't
don't. That means I would have to like care enough. I don't care. People obviously like them enough.
right.
Andrew,
So I don't care about the gorilla.
okay.
He does flippy dunks and stuff on
Yeah,
trampoline.
and I got my microphone plugged in now. Just an
Okay.
update. Since we like to do live producing on the show.
Well, it's going to get more interesting as we go up. I'm just telling
All
you.
But,
right.
but seriously, why is the gorilla the Suns
Yeah.
mascot?
Thank you.
Because
Dunno.
kids like it. I don't know.
That's
They
the
didn't want like
only-
a sun head or something. I mean, if your moniker, that's the word. If your moniker is something that is not a living thing, then you got to come up with something else.
Is there like a god of sun? Apollo?
Oh,
No.
the sun god, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is definitely a
That's what I
sun
mean.
god. The
that
other
would
thing
be
is
interesting.
they could have done really cool thing and gone old school and done the Mario sun that used to chase your asses from like
Oh.
Mario World 3. That would be cool.
Oh,
That
that's
would be
such a good idea.
Number
right.
7, Hairy Dog, and I don't really like him being this far up the
Look.
list.
What happened to Uga the 8th?
Uga is a live mascot. That'll be another list.
Yeah, what
He'll
about
be up
Bevo?
against Bevo.
Yeah, I would say I'm
Whatever they
surprised
call that buffalo in Colorado.
that's what is his name? I forget. But yeah, Tom Osborne told his ass to move before we waxed Colorado that year. Bitches.
So
Ralphie.
number 7
It's
goes.
Ralphie. Like the
Ralphie.
kid who shot his eye out. Yeah. It's
Oh my
Ralphie.
goodness.
But
So
how
number
the hell
7
does the
from the
Bulldog
University of
win
Georgia.
get number 7? I mean,
He's pretty cool. I mean,
shouldn't the mascot be the bailiff at jail or the person that takes the mug shots? I mean, really. It's certainly not the driving instructor or the people at the DMV for the state of Georgia. And
bail bondsman.
folks, I'll be here all week.
There you go.
Yeah, we're effective today from Athens, Georgia. We are changing our name from the Bulldogs to the Bail Bondsmen just because we support that business so much.
And that's the reason half our people are still on the field.
Correct.
Number 6, Blooper.
Oh,
What is this? Who is this? What is this?
He's the Braves mascot. You haven't
What's
seen
his
him?
name?
Blooper.
No.
I did
He's
not vote
pretty
for
new.
Blooper.
Now they've had other mascots, but
Yeah, I don't know what
know,
this is, so no. Mm-mm.
I don't
Yeah.
know if Chief Nakahoma is really making it in 2025 without a lot. of-
No, but this is
feedback.
ridiculous. What is this supposed to be?
He's
a
like
player?
a Muppet.
Oh.
I don't know. I mean, he is. Look at him. He looks like a Muppet. I
Yeah.
will admit this. I'm a Braves fan. I did not even put him in my top 10.
Okay. I mean, I again, dead honesty, I didn't know the Braves had a mascot.
Yeah.
Not a lot of baseball teams have a mascot. One does, and I can't believe I actually voted for it, but we'll probably talk about it.
We'll get there.
Yeah, I know.
Number 5.
That one.
What is his name? What is his
Wally. It's Wally.
See, I didn't put the words.
See-
Wally the Green Monster.
Wally
And I
the
like
Green
the
Monster.
creativity of the Green Monster being the Red Sox mascot.
See, so to me, this is the perfect way to make a mascot. Oh, did Andrew just quit because he hates me now? Oh, there he is.
He's
That's it.
messing with his equipment.
I was going to say, is he mad because I voted for something on the Red Sox? No, look, this is a perfect example of how you take something that isn't an animal and make it a mascot. Wally the Green Monster. This is great.
Yeah.
Be even better when Judge puts 4 or 5 home runs over that fucking wall.
But he's also a Muppet.
Yes.
There's multiple Muppet styled characters here.
Agree.
It's not going to get any better because number 4 is Mr. Met.
Oh.
So, by the way,
greatest of the baseball heads.
I would like to point out that you were kind of sexist here because there's Mr.
I didn't
and
put
Ms.
Mrs. Met. Yeah, I started to put
So,
Mr. and Mrs. Met.
Just FYI.
But he's been around longer than she has.
Yes, that's true.
So
that's very true.
I agree.
But again, for baseball, where we don't have very many mascots, this is a good one.
Yeah,
it is.
But let's not forget that Mr. Met now has a right fielder who's going to win a Golden Glove this year.
All right, and hit 45 home runs apparently.
Yeah. Nice of y'all to catch up. Juan Soto is an awful fielder. Predictions for this year: multiple missed balls into the corner of fields and multiple extra bases thanks to his piss poor fielding. He will be a designated hitter in less than 3 years.
I'm not putting that up.
Braves will appreciate every one of those that they hit to right field and he helps with.
Yes.
Oh, he's horrible. He will not win a Golden Glove. Go ahead, Terry. What's number
3?
Yes,
the Oregon Duck. He's people
one of
call
my
him
favorites.
Puddles, but his official name is not Puddles. Somebody came up with that. The school does not call him that. He's the Oregon Duck, but he's Daffy Duck dressed in Oregon garb.
Well, it's Donald Duck.
Donald Duck. Oh my goodness, did I just mix up?
Yeah, you did. That's okay.
Oh my God.
You got the wrong color and everything.
Blame Terry for
that. You did a Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
Gene Wilder.
Gene Hackman. Not be confused with a Gene Wilder. I love Gene Hackman and Willy Wonka. What did
Let me tell you, this is he played a role in one of the greatest commercials on ESPN ever. When ESPN started doing the behind the scenes commercials, it was really great.
Yeah.
It showed him in an office setting and he's like typing away on his keyboard and he leans back and looks out the window and there's a bunch of ducks on the water out there and he just sighs like because he's jealous of everybody else because he's got to work.
Devin Dowling just called. First, you got home. Welcome, Devin. We love you. We mean it. Congratulations on the baby. He's beautiful.
Yes.
And he called him Puddles.
It's right, and a lot of people call him Puddles.
Yeah, it's the Oregon Duck. Yeah, quack, quack.
But so I did put it in the poll. I said sometimes called
You
Puddles.
did. Some people call him Puddles.
Yeah.
He was number 2 for me behind Herbie.
Oh.
Y'all failed me voting Herbie off the top 10, but that's okay.
No, Otto has not shown up anywhere yet, Devin.
It's not my fault Terry used the wrong picture of Herbie. You got to win. You got to use the one where we were winning national championships.
Okay.
And believe that.
That is a good point you make there. Yes.
What's number 2, Terry?
Number 2, that's the chicken.
San Diego.
The San Diego chicken. The famous chicken. Is that a Red Wings logo?
That's a Flyers. Philadelphia Flyers.
Okay.
Yeah.
See,
I just answered a hockey question.
You answered a hockey question. Woo!
That is a Philadelphia Flyers shirt.
But he was on the baseball bunch
Mike
when I was a
Bober will
kid.
be proud.
And that,
this is legendary.
He's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, speaking of hockey, apparently Wayne Gretzky's record was broken. I don't know anything about Wayne Gretzky, like, most scoring ever in hockey and whatever else.
Who?
Who?
And he told you to shut up.
I just do to Bober what Bober does to us. That's all.
Correct.
He was like, he's like, Skeens isn't even pitching. If you guys lose this, you should just forfeit all your championship, whatever it was he said. And I'm like, okay.
Devin has a question. Was this guy choke slammed by Kane?
Actually, it was Pete Rose, who should be in the Baseball Hall of Fame. But anyway, another question.
All right.
Number 1, and if you're paying attention, and mascots, you ought to know.
I think I know who it
should be. Did it. And I hate that I voted him number 1 for myself. the Philly Fanatic.
Yeah, absolutely. This might have been my number one.
Like character. He does a lot of funny stuff with his snout. I remember when Joe Carter was announcing for the Cubs, I think at one point. He like went up into the booth and attacked him.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Cannot say anything bad against this guy.
At least they got a good mascot.
Very fan friendly.
Yep.
Well, that's all Philadelphia is, because win, lose, or draw, they're going to riot, and they're going to be Philly fans, and AEW, good luck. I'm just saying. You're all going to
So the pay-per-views in Philadelphia?
It's in Philly.
That is interesting. Big coincidence that we've got the Philly Fanatic number one.
Look at that.
On the same show where we previewed AEW Dynasty Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Let me run it down. All right. Number 10, Big Al from Alabama. Number 9, Albie the Tiger from this guy behind me. I keep leaning the wrong way, sitting in the chair. Number 8, the Gorilla from Phoenix. Number 7, Harry Dog from the University of Georgia. Number 6, Blooper from the Atlanta Braves. And he hadn't been around too long. I mean, they've gone through a lot of different mascots. So I get that you don't know who he is, Allison. Number 5, Wally the Green Monster for the Red Sox. Number 4, Mr. Met. And there is a Mrs. Met, and I should have included her. Thank you for correcting me, Allison. Number 3, the Oregon Duck, who a lot of people call Puddles. And somebody may go pull something up proving that I'm wrong about that. Wouldn't be the first time. Number 2, the Famous Chicken. And number 1, the Philly Fanatic.
Awesome list. And we have breaking news. Herbie Husker may not have been on this list, but Nebraska won the Crown Tournament.
Woo!
So there you go.
Yay!
We got to represent, even when we're in the blue and the white. We're in the blue and the white. And Coach Keith, Philadelphia does it to themselves. He says, "Quit talking about my town." Hey, damn it, they do it to themselves. Like
I went to Philadelphia last year. I went to Philadelphia last year for WrestleMania, and it was fantastic. And I had a gregreat time. So
did they put grease on the stop or on the overhead lights, street lights, so that they didn't climb them? Because that's what they do in Philly. They grease the light poles so that those idiots do not climb them and tear them down. When they won the World Series, riot. When they won the Super Bowl, riot.
All right.
When they win the beer pong tournament at the local park, riot. These people don't need an excuse. And these people is Philadelphians. He knows.
Coach Keith knows.
He knows. Yeah, we love Keith. He knows. He knows. I mean, the only thing that happens in Goldsboro is drive-bys and bad stick-ups. So I get it, you know? I mean,
all right.
Not like Philly. We have nothing to riot over.
Nope.
We have nothing to riot over. That's the thing. We got an Air Force base and a Wawa.
They opened it?
Excellent.
They opened. So Wawa is smarter than everybody. Because you guys know, well, anybody that listens to our show knows, I live off of an intersection, 581 and 70. It's 2 major highways. There are now 4 gas stations on this corner. We have Murphy's. We have a Shell that used to be a Handy Mart. We have a Sheetz. And directly across the street from the Sheetz, we now have a Wawa. Yeah. Wawa opened last week or 10 days ago. And they opened by putting their gas prices 50 cents less than everybody else's. And offering everybody a free cup of coffee that came
in. Hell yeah. That's the way to do it.
So they know what they're doing. So Sheetz, the brilliant Shell station across the road, everybody's price went back up, right? What's your social security number?
You basically gave pretty close to your address. So Devin says, what's your social security?
Just remember this, Devin, and anybody listening to this. This house is protected by 4 pit bulls, about 6 firearms loaded with hollow point bullets, and the will of God. So be advised. Anyway, Wawa had the gas prices 50 cents higher. or lower, and then they raised them back. Well, the idiots across the road apparently thought they were losing too much money, so when Wawa matched their price, they decided to go 15 or 20 cents higher than that. Like, who's going to stop at that gas station when Sheetz, Wawa, and Murphy's are all the same price, and you're 15 cents higher?
Nope.
No. Anyway, it was fun. I had to mention Wawa, Terry, because Allison loves it. And I'm just like,
I do.
It's a gas station. That's all. I get that they make food and stuff, but so did Sheetz. It's just a gas station.
I don't have Wawa. All I have is Cumberland Farms, and that's nothing like either one of those.
I've traveled, I traveled to New Jersey twice in the last couple of years. And I did one for work, and one of the guys was like, "Oh, we got to go to Wawa and all this stuff." So it was a big deal to them too.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I know I'm weird. It's fine.
It's fine. Also,
all right. What else is going on this week?
I've got to send you Hey Dudes. I need to know what address you're at. You need to text me offline.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't throw it on here.
No.
We don't.
Kevin apparently will send somebody
Here's
to your
the
house.
map of my house versus the storms.
Yeah.
That
So
kind of
yes,
thing.
there are New York Yankee Hey Dudes in the box, in your size. So then we can be twinsies because I'm wearing mine right now.
Yeah.
Harry, I would buy you Yankees Hey Dudes, but I feel like they would not ever get out of the box. I'm just saying.
I've had one pair of Hey Dudes, and I've had them for like 15 years, and I could use another pair, but I don't know if Yankees is the pair I'm going for.
Oh,
the nice thing about these is the college football ones they released went white, so they were horrible because you pick up everything we want.
Yeah,
these are the navy blue with the white embroidery. So if you guys like baseball and your team, you could absolutely get these, and I would totally recommend them because they actually went with the color. So I believe, Coach Keith, Phillies is white. Oh, you said you were the White Sox. Definitely black. Devin, navy blue on the Yankees, and I don't know everybody else's baseball teams, but they've gone with the colored version as opposed to the white.
Yeah.
So like Yankees pinstripes Hey Dudes would be badass until you wore them outside a couple times.
Yeah.
You know, and let's be honest. And
yeah.
Kind of like the White Sox. Pinstripes would be great until you wore them outside, and then it's just useless. So anyway, that's the 100th episode of
episode 100. We didn't do anything about the word 100. We didn't review anything from the 100 episodes. But hey, we had a show, and that's a difficult enough thing these days. And we've got a soccer tournament in Tennessee next weekend. We've got practice Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. This is the reason it takes forever for us to record a show.
And I'm only off Wednesday, and Medusa's got that day, and Sunday,
I'm going to Mexico.
So it may be 2 weeks is what we're saying.
Yeah, it may be another 2 weeks.
And it's not the football show, but the show is changing and it's evolving, and we're just dealing. So
right.
There you go. But we thank you all. Genuinely.
We do. And enjoy the pay-per-view later in a few minutes. I guess 0 hours.
Are you headed over to Dave and Buster's? Because our fans love
not. I'm not leaving.
I was going to remind Andrew, your boys are fighting each other right now on 0 hour.
Who?
Max Caster and Bowens.
And Bowens?
Oh, did he accept the challenge?
I guess so. They're fighting each other right now.
That's what that was going to lead up to. Yeah, that's pretty good.
The open challenge is stupid. Platinum Max knows better.
Yeah. But anyway.
But do we know what's happening on Pondwater and Amy this week?
I do not.
I didn't get an answer back.
I honestly do not. I know that Efren hosted the game event. Everybody
maybe
had a lot of fun.
Maybe they're a guest from last week who couldn't attend. Maybe she's going to be there this week.
Possibly. So we're not sure. We would let you know if we knew. Definitely support them. We always call for that, and we do as much as we can. We will have a show. We wish we could tell you a set schedule, but it's just not that way anymore.
Nope. Everybody's traveling next week and busy, and the week after is Easter. So if we do not see you guys, everybody have a happy Easter. Definitely. Greeks and non-Greeks alike. October, that was for you. Bober had to
And me.
Bober had to
And me.
And
about,
Allison.
no, you don't lecture me about Greek Orthodox.
I know.
Bober decided he was going to argue with somebody with a theology minor about Greek Orthodoxy, like I didn't know about 313 and the Battle of Nicaea and all this nonsense. So anyway, yes, the quest from last week.
The guest
Yes.
from last week.
Yes, from
We
last
were
week.
right.
I read it
The,
back.
Dave and Amy's show. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, nice.
Sweet.
All right.
So
Well, I
apparently my
think
boy
we gave
won.
you 10 extra minutes here so you can get away from whatever device you're using to watch us. We appreciate everybody that voted, everybody that gave us feedback, even if we disagreed. You even got a new slide out of me.
Yes. I like Blame Terry. We got to keep that one.
We'll roll with it. Hopefully
All
there
right.
will be one where it's blank. Nobody
Hey.
complained about nothing, but it hadn't happened yet. So I don't
We've
see
met
it
our
happening.
friends, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks everybody.
Yes.
You guys have a great Sunday evening. Enjoy the wrestling if you will. Enjoy anything else if that's what you're doing, and rest well. Love you guys. And I almost forgot to conclude it the right way. As always, love your people. Tell them you love them. Make it weird. See you next time, everybody.
Bye.